In this session, I will ask three students of the university how they manage their time, what obstacles they faced in their time management, and how they solved these issues. We will learn through their stories. Our first interviewee is Hugh, a graduate student at the Obuda University Alba Regia Technical Faculty. What led you to pay more attention to time management?
I wanted to get out of boring everyday life, longing for a career and success. As the first step, I gathered information about my habits and pastimes that were not conducive to my development. I wasted a lot of time on TikTok, watching people talk about their happy and successful businesses or even their hobbies. That's when I realized I had a hobby, but the time I spent on social media didn't take me further. It gave me the starting push to start an activity of my choice and do it. I was looking for a hobby that I was interested in and I could do with all my heart, because in the long run, I believe you can only do what you love doing.
How did you break your social media addiction?
My initial difficulties were caused by my phone addiction. Whenever I received a notification, I had to check it immediately, which meant I went back to social media again and again and only realized much later that I was wasting my time. It took a lot of concentration to keep my attention on real life instead of my phone. To do this, I had to turn off my phone's internet access and mute my phone so that the calls wouldn't distract me. I started doing other activities. Initially, it didn't matter what I was doing. My main concern was just breaking out of my comfort zone.
Why was it important to you to manage your time well?
It was important to me to be open to new things and opportunities because I think that's the key to a successful life. The more productive I spent my time, the better I performed in my daily life. The first and most important thing in my life right now is school. I spent more time studying for classes and it paid off twice. I got excellent grades and I also get a financial allowance because I teach other students. So I managed to connect school and work.
Thank you, Hugh. It is always a good idea to restrict your social media usage and to get out there in the real world. Our next interviewee is Charlie, a first year student at the university. What method do you use to manage your daily tasks?
I break down my schedule into weekly and daily parts, depending on how much time it takes me to complete a task. I organize these into a weekly breakdown as they are both important to me. I start organizing my daily schedule the day before. This includes my hobbies, meeting friends, and shopping.
How important is me time to you? What do you do and how much time do you spend on it?
Naturally, I need to take time for myself. I love the daily hustle and bustle of training, but it is also very often a burden for me. In the evenings, I usually spend about 2 hours on things I like to do. I feel the need to disconnect from society in the evenings. I don't seek anyone's company as I'm in community all day. I like to go for a walk, read a book or watch a movie or some episodes from a series.
It's a great idea to take time to recharge yourself, Charlie. Thank you for coming. And last but not least, we have Kevin, a second year student at Obuda University. What methods have you used to learn the material?
At first, I struggled to master the subject because I found it difficult to find a place in the dorms where I could concentrate in peace. We started to study together in the room, which was more difficult because everyone had a different section of the material and so it was slow to progress together. I found the Pomodoro technique on the internet, which is to focus your attention on the chapter you want to learn for 25 minutes without stopping, then take a 5-minute break. We did this individually until everyone had successfully mastered the lesson. After everyone finished, we discussed the parts some of us still didn't understand.
How have you managed your time while at the university?
I collected all the habits and activities I need and want to do and put them into a time matrix. I always start with the important and urgent things first, then the urgent but not so important. I can put learning and work into these categories. For example, one day I work, the next day I go to school, on my way back to college I study if I am behind on something, but these are not my typical weekdays. After that I get on with my unimportant but urgent activities, help my fellow students with their assignments, or meet a long lost friend. Finally, I leave the activities that are neither important nor urgent to the end of the day, such as online dating, watching a TV series, or going on a trip.
Thanks, Charlie. That was very informative. Remember, if it is important to you, you'll find a way. If it is not, you'll find an excuse.